Okay, welcome everyone to today's live business coaching. Did you hear about this famous Hollywood, I beg your pardon, Nollywood woman? Her name is Shan. She was defrauded of all her life savings and she started begging for help. I saw her video begging for help, and I tell you, it was such a very sad sight. And she published a screen capture of what happened, how she lost that money. It was very, very sad. She was at the point of tears and she said, I don't have any money anywhere else. She was scammed of 3.6 million, and then all that she had left in the balance was less than 2,000 Naira. And this thing happened within the fraction of a second. The point is, it can happen to you. It can happen to you. Okay, and then the very, very shocking statistic is that literally every adult Nigerian has lost money to one scam or the other. Every adult Nigerian has lost money to scams. How do I know? Because I do a lot of public speaking and I'm very, very heavily exposed media-wise. Many times when I go to hold a program, an event, I ask people by a show of hands, how many of you here have lost money to some kind of scheme or the other? And literally, usually all the hands in the room go up. So at this stage, if you have ever lost money to a scam, if you've ever lost money to some kind of shady investment, please type in the chat and say, I have. If you have ever lost money to a shady scam, please type in the chat and say, I have. Okay, so scammers mean business. Scammers mean business. And please type that in the comment section. Scammers mean business. Type it in the comment section. Scammers mean business. I really want this to sink in. I want you to know that while you are very, very busy working, trying to save money and become financially stable, to feed your family, I want you to know that there are people who are bent not on making their own money, but on scamming you, on taking the one that you have earned from you. So time is ticking, they are closing in, and then you've got to protect your asset. Like it happened to Shan, it can happen to you. And so many people are very, very busy creating wealth, but they never give attention to protecting their wealth. And then I can see, I can see in the chat, in the comment section, I have. So people have lost money. So people here have lost money to one scheme or the other. I too have lost money, lots of it. I've lost money several times. And that is why I thought that as part of the financial fitness program, that it's time that people understood why it is important to protect their asset from scammers, because scammers mean business. Yes, I can see in the chat, Kingsley says scammers mean business. Zuna says scammers mean business, because they do, okay? And your financial security at any particular point in time, especially in this digital, very, very highly computerized age, your hard-earned wealth, your financial security is always under siege, always under siege. And then at the end of tonight, you will learn what to do about it. So far, these are the flags of the countries currently represented in our live sessions. And if you are in the live session and then your flag is not represented, please type in the chat what country you are watching from. So we've seen different countries: Cameroon, the Gambia, Nigeria, Ghana, UK, United States, Ireland, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and so on. So if yours is not represented, please type the country you are watching from in the comment section. All right. So today we are looking at the 10 red flags of financial scams you can't afford to ignore. Why am I doing this? Because every single day, including today, people are always sending me messages saying things like, oh, there is this investment, should I make it? Or they say this stock is out, this stock, should I buy it? And people are always asking these questions. And so it's very difficult to treat every case one by one, because when it comes to investment, it is not something you really want family and friends, or you want the streets to tell you what to invest in, as you're going to see, because that's often what makes you very, very vulnerable to being scammed, because you don't have financial literacy, and then you do not understand these warning signs, these red flags. That's why you lose money, but we're going to take care of that today. All right, so everybody please type in the comment section 10 red flags. 10 red flags. Yep. Okay, so you are going to learn the top 10 red flags of financial scams that you cannot afford to ignore. Why am I doing this? Well, so my name is Ogbo Awoke Obo. And then 2 weeks ago, I woke up with a thought: if I had only 1,000 years to live, 1,000 days, I beg your pardon, 1,000 days more to live, and I had to impart my most valuable lessons to the world, what was I going to teach the world? That's how the 1,000 days of live business coaching on Facebook and also on YouTube, that's how it started. And then what I'm hoping to do for you through the next 1,000 days is to help you develop the skills and strategies to attain financial independence, to give you the insights, the tools, the mechanisms, the techniques, the strategies to take your business from local to global, and most importantly, to build a loving family while you're building your business. Why me? What gives me the audacity to want to do this? Because I have had the privilege and the blessing of a remarkable career, working with Shell several times, and then working with Chevron. And then I have had the incredible privilege teaching alongside the most gifted professors in the world, the Stanford Graduate School of Business professors. So I worked with an initiative with the Stanford Graduate School of Business of the Stanford University, and it was such a rich experience that I want to be breaking down to you, because many of us will never get the opportunity to attend Stanford University, but every evening you have the privilege to hear the wisdom of Stanford firsthand as a business owner. All right, so this is why I am doing this. So at the end of today's session, you'll be able to distinguish between legitimate investment opportunities and fraudulent schemes. I am telling you, as I speak to you, 1,000 Nigerians are being scammed every second, and then many times they don't even know it. And then the very reason you're being scammed is that you can't even tell what is legitimate and what is not. That's the biggest problem. But at the end of this session, you'll be able to tell what is legitimate and what is not. So you will stop asking every time somebody approaches you with something, Mr. Obo, what do you think about this? Should I invest in this or not? You'll be able to make this decision yourself after this. Okay? Secondly, you're going to be equipped with the insight and knowledge to recognize common tactics that these scammers use. Their tactics, there's very common tactics. There's some tactics that they've been using for the past 30, 40 years, and it's still working for them. And it works because, like somebody once said, a customer is born, every minute. So the people that they scammed 20 years ago, they are wise, but people who were born 20 years ago, 19, 15 years ago, they don't know about it. So that's why the tactics still work. Okay, I still remember one of the most popular ones, and I was thoroughly shocked to discover that people still do it. So people come to you and they say, "Oh, we have a special paper, special kind of paper that we use to print dollars. But to print these dollars, you need a particular chemical, and then you have these huge quantities of this special paper, money-making paper." But you don't have the money to buy the chemical. So they said to you, "Oh, give us such and such amount of money so that we can buy the chemicals." And then you give them the money to buy chemicals, and that's it. They still do it today. So there are common tactics you're going to learn. And then thirdly, you're going to fully understand why people fall for these scams. Even though people were scammed yesterday, they are still being scammed today. Even though people are hearing about all these fraudulent schemes and all these scam schemes going on, people are still falling to it today and losing their hard-earned money all the time. Is this making sense? Type in the comment section. Is this making sense yet? Okay, excellent. Excellent. Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. All right. So I want you to understand what I had emphasized earlier, that the schemers or the scammers are not sleeping. They mean business. Scammers mean business. So what I've done is look at the kind of scams that have happened and then to put them under some kind of categories. Okay? And many of these things you will recognize because I went to, I believe it was Naira Land, an online forum, and also to Twitter, and some people were making a list of all the different money scams that they have fallen into. And these things number in their hundreds. They number in their hundreds. But I was able to see certain categories, very common categories of these scams that people used to bleed people of their hard-earned wealth. And in fact, it is actually also a shocking statistic that Nigerians lose billions. I forget the statistic I saw somewhere, but I think in the past 5 years or so, Nigerians have lost as much as 500 billion, almost 500 billion naira to scam. That is a lot of money. So you can imagine what 500 billion naira would have done for the society, done for the community, done for your families, done for the schools. But this 500 billion went to scammers. This is why I believe it's a very, very serious subject, one that everyone who is interested in building their financial stability must give attention to how to protect your assets from these scams. There are so many. They are like bees. They are all over the place. They've multiplied online. As I'm talking to you, there are so many of them. So there are these special categories that are Ponzi and pyramid schemes, and many of you, some of you here may have fallen prey to MMM or the N power or several kinds of farm investments. You know, people tell you, okay, you give us money with farm, and then you make some money out of it. And then there's so many multiplicity of real estate scams going on now. That one seems to be like a really favorite one right now. The second category of scams are online scams. Okay, so this is where you have the famous Yahoo, all right, which is becoming very, very common. This is also where you have the cryptocurrency scams. I lost a lot of money during the cryptocurrency craze before I got my senses back. Social media, then online lottery scams. So they all fall here. And then, of course, you know, many of you do not actually know the origin of the 419. All right, that's the advanced fee fraud that began sometime, I believe, in the 1980s in Nigeria. And people would typically tell you, oh, we have money stuck somewhere. My family is so family, the richest family in Uganda. When the government was overthrown, my father had $12 billion put in there and all that. So we just need you to give us this kind of money so we can all that, so you have the advance fee fraud. Okay, that's where you also have job scams, loan scams, impersonation scams, so many of them. So just look at all these things. These are all the things, all the demon spirits after your hard-earned money, and there are so many. So you have the one fake pharmaceuticals, insurance, oil and gas scams. They just call you and tell you, okay, we want to buy. We have somebody in Germany who wants to buy, um, some oil and gas products. Can you give us like $60 million worth of it and things like that? So all kinds of those. The educational scams and people who take money from people because they want to do visa for them. I know a particular gentleman, actually, because he's a relation, who literally lost all his money and also all his senses because he wanted visa to go abroad, and then somebody promised him. So there are all types of them. Financial institution scams, government related scams. They tell you, okay, we are NNPC, general manager, and then we want to give you this contract. So there are so many. Okay, and then under additional categories, I didn't forget to put the religious scams. These ones are actually very, very common, and it's particularly deadly because people live under it every single day because we are very, very religious people. And then we have all these religious scamming centers all over the place. They scam you and make you believe that you're giving the money to God, but you're actually funding somebody's lifestyle. Okay? So you need to be aware of these things. So sometimes somebody will come to the village and then tell your little niece or something there, oh, we have a job for you in Saudi Arabia, and this is how human trafficking happens. And before you know it, this girl is trapped somewhere in Italy or in some other country, as a sex slave. So these things are going on even as we speak. They are going on every single day. So let's begin to talk about the red flags, one after the other. So the first red flag of a financial scheme, by the way I have arranged it for each of the 10 red flags, I've arranged it under 4 headings, each of them. I will tell you how it works, and then I will tell you also the psychology behind why people fall for it, and then I'll give you a strategy to be able to avoid it, okay? And then I'll give you an example. Does this sound exciting? Is this helpful so far? Very good. So let's talk about the very first red flag. So when somebody approaches you with an investment opportunity and then tells you it's going to guarantee high returns with very, very low risk. Okay, this is the very one that I fell for a couple of years ago. So they promise you huge profits and then you don't have to do anything. Just deposit 1 million naira, and then every month you are going to get 20% of that. All right. So why do people fall for it? Because people want to get rich quick, right? And then it is the idea of easy money. Please type easy money. Easy money is the undoing of so many young people in Nigeria. Easy money is the undoing. Please type it in the chat. Easy money. Easy money is a trap. Easy money is a very big trap for financial scam. So that is why people fall for it. People don't want to work hard. They don't want to go through the grind of learning a high income skill. They don't want to go through the challenges of spending hours in the night learning how to code, learning how to build a skill, learning how to build sales skill. They don't want to start a business because there's so much headache in starting a business. And so somebody comes and tells them, oh, no, you don't need to do anything in business. You don't need to bother yourself to go and learn programming or to go and learn fashion or to go and learn. That is very hard. Just deposit this your 1 million naira, and then every month you relax in your house and get 200,000 naira. So people fall for it. So that is the psychology behind it. We are wired naturally for easy. So you have to be very, very careful that you don't default to the easy money, because the truth is there is really no easy money. Money is always the exchange for value that we create. So how do you avoid it? So number one, once someone comes to you with very, very mouth-watering guaranteed high returns, take a break, calm down, for yourself, okay? Research thoroughly, because in the principles of investment, any high return always has high risk. So if somebody comes and then tries to match low risk with high return, your antenna should go up. That's a red flag. All right, so there are so many examples around us. An online scheme promises to double your money in 1 week, okay? But of course, after you put in that money, you discover that that website, just disappears into thin air. Okay, there's a second red flag, and this red flag is the urgency, urgent pressure to invest. Whenever something comes, now, that's the way it works, The scammers create a false urgency, telling you you must invest immediately. You're going to miss out on this opportunity. It's going to close by 12 midnight today. This person already did, this person already did, this person already did. What are you waiting for? In fact, if you miss it now, because the next batch, the money will start coming for the next batch, another. If you miss it, you can't get this thing again until another. That is how it works. So why does it work? The psychology behind it is called FOMO, the fear of missing out. So these scammers play on your fear of missing out. But you need to apply brakes. You're not going to miss out anything. You need to apply brakes. There's no opportunity that comes once and then it will never come again for the rest of your life. And then who even says that even if it's a good opportunity, that is your opportunity at the time? All right? So the strategy is take your time, because legitimate investments will never rush you. It will never rush you, all right? So don't rush into that. Anytime it's coming with pressure and somebody comes to put me under pressure, oh, buy now. Or they even bring something like a car. Oh, this car just came from Germany and the owner wants to sell now. And he only wants to sell it for 1.5 million. Ordinarily, that car is 9 million. He only wants to sell it for like 2 million. And it has to go in the next 30 minutes. In fact, 10 people are already interested, but I'm just telling you because, you are my friend. Be very, very careful when you receive things like that. It might be a stolen car, like in this particular example that I've given. Red flag number 3, lack of consistency. Okay? Whenever you get any insight, please type in the chat. And then type the insight, the aha moment for you. All right? Or whenever you hear an experience that resonates with the one you have, please type it in the comment section. So let's all interact with that. So red flag number 3 is lack of transparency. So the scammer would usually bring the so-called investment opportunity, but then the jargon is complicated, and it might even have complicated paperwork. It's really, really unclear. And then many times when you now start asking questions, they say, listen, okay, if you don't want to do this thing, just leave it, because so many people are doing it. It's all psychology. So many people are already doing it. Look at this person, they're already doing it. You're asking too many questions. Just trust me, Oga. That is a problem, okay? So why do people fall for it? People might trust the scammer. It might be like what they do now in Nigeria. They use like a famous footballer, or they use a famous comedian, and then they blow it up. They could even put it in radio. You see, but these things will never compensate for lack of transparency. So how do you avoid it? If you don't understand how the investment works, don't invest. That's the law. Okay? Never invest in what you don't understand. Please type it in the comment section. Never invest in what you do not understand, because that is almost 100% guarantee that you're going to lose that money. Never invest in something you do not understand. Okay, there was a famous example. Somebody pressurized me. It must have been 2 years ago. So they claim that they have this fantastic algorithm for trading forex. I don't even need to trade. That all I need to do is put the money there, $500, $1,000, and then the algorithm will be trading for me. That they have expert algorithm that will be trading, doing the stocks. It will be watching the peeps, watching the market, and then know when to close when. Ha 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 ha. I didn't understand that one, because I had gone to New York to learn forex trading in 2007, and then I had my conclusions about forex trading, and yeah, so I didn't let that con me into taking that particular investment. So be very, very careful when there's lack of transparency in the investment. Red flag number 4. When the so-called investment is being operated by unregistered or unlicensed operators. Okay, so they may pretend to be legitimate financial advisors or companies, but they are not registered or licensed to offer investments. Be very, very careful, because the SEC of Nigeria, Securities and Exchange Commission, and other bodies who regulate such things like the CAC, the Corporate Affairs Commission, they have always made it very clear. Don't deal with companies or with individuals, who are offering such investment schemes that are not licensed. And then the simplest thing you can actually do is just go online and query their so-called company, and you'll be very shocked that they don't exist. They do not exist. I think even the MMM, which happens to be one of the most notorious scams ever in the history of Nigeria, I don't think that they had a proper registration here. Okay, so you do your due diligence. So people fall for it because people assume that anyone offering financial services must be legitimate, especially if they appear very knowledgeable. All right, so anyone offering financial services, lending you money, taking your money, paying you your interest and things like that, giving you loans, yeah, you need to make sure that the person is licensed and registered. Okay, so how do you avoid falling into that trap? Always check if the person or the company is registered with the SEC, CAC, and other relevant bodies. Okay, so somebody posing as an investment advisor convinces you to invest in a private fund, and then after investing you learn that the advisor wasn't registered and the fund doesn't even exist. Very, very possible. Okay, then red flag number 5, promises of easy money. I can't emphasize this enough. I've already talked about it. The scammers promise you steady and guaranteed returns regardless of market conditions. This is not very realistic. If you've invested in a while, you know that it is not very realistic. That was how I lost money, because I had one that promised easy money. I was about to leave to quit my job with Shell at the time and then start my own business. And then this investment, or as they called it at the time, equity fund or something, hedge fund, they came to our office in Shell and different places, and then that's how I put in so much. And then of course that money disappeared since that time to today. So people fall for it because people want security. That's exactly what I wanted, because at that time that company was promising 10% every month of what you deposited. And then I just did my calculation. Okay, 10% every month as I'm leaving my paid employment, that is going to give me some headroom to have constant flow of income while I set up my business. And then that was how yours truly lost $100,000 in savings to Nospetco and to Wealth Zone. How do you avoid this? Be very, very skeptical of any investment that guarantees returns. Please understand all of it. And you see what made me fall in my own particular case, and that's another strategy to avoid it, was that I had many respectable authorities who were part of that Nospetco thing. I had my bankers. When I got there to check that office, I think Elephant Building somewhere in Marina, when I had gone in 2007 to check them out, I was shocked. I saw professors there. Then I saw my bankers. At the time, I saw my bankers there. And then when I got to the office, I found that the manager of our cooperative society in that time was also in it. And then because he was in it, he even showed me his statement and how Nospetco had paid him every single month for the past 1 year. I was sold. All my brakes went off. Another key mistake and strategy that you can use to avoid this, talk to your wife. I'm sure if I talk to my wife, she would have told me not to do that thing. And I knew that she would have said not to do it. That's why I didn't talk to her. And that's how we lost that money. Be very, very careful about that. Red flag number 6. Overemphasis on testimonials and success stories, especially when you go online. You see these people you don't know, an Asian face or American face or Chinese face, and then they are there telling you how their lives were changed overnight, how they just, invested in this opportunity. They just put their last $3,000, $3,500, and within 6 months, shipping did this, shipping that, drop shipping, and then now in 6 months they made 1 million. And then you hear another person, especially in these days of AI, some of those things are fake. So scammers use fake and exaggerated success stories. So anytime you're hearing those exaggerated success stories that sound just absolutely fabulous and too good to be true, be very, very careful. That's a red flag. Now, why do people fall for it? Because people trust the experiences of others. We are wired to do that. So in psychology, we call it social proof. And so if you see someone dressed so well, you see a fellow woman dressed really, really well corporately, looking rich, using phonetics, speaking Queen's English. And then she comes and tells you how she put in 3,500 pounds, 3 weeks ago. And then voila, 3 weeks after, I've got 35,000 pounds. Be very careful when they are sounding like that, okay? Now, red flag number 7, when the so-called investment scheme requests for upfront upfront fees or payments. Be very, very, let your antenna go up. Scammers ask for large upfront payments, often promising higher returns or special privileges. Why do people fall for it? Because people believe that paying upfront will secure a better deal for them and faster return. Yeah, because we're actually wired to think that way. Oh, so yeah, I trust these people. And so let me pay upfront instead of wait for the maturity, for the whole thing, but let me just pay upfront. How do you avoid it? Be very cautious of investments that require you to put significant upfront fees. Be very, very wary of it. And then always understand what you are paying for and why, and then get receipts for everything that you pay. But even before receipts, always understand what you are paying for. So a company, for instance, can ask you for a large fee to join an exclusive investment club. Okay, and then in this investment club, we own some property in Macau. And then, so it's fractional. We also have private jet. And so because each of us, none of us can buy private jet. All of us can buy one. And then we do timeshare. All those nice sounding things and all that, but be very careful. Always understand what you're paying for and then why. And always keep receipts of your payments. Red flag number 8. Many Nigerians fall for this, and I don't know for other nationalities in the group, in the chat, in the live session. You can also say if this works in your place. You see, but you have this recruitment-based compensation, the pyramid skills, MLMs, network marketing, And so the rewards, some of them, not all of them, some of them are really good. But for some of them, the rewards come from primarily from recruiting others, not from selling products. That shows you immediately that is a pyramid, because the income they are paying the people on the top at the top is coming from the people below. So they tell you, okay, no, you don't need to do anything. Just bring in 2 people. And then you coach those people who to bring 2 people, each of them who will bring 2 people each. And then at the end of it, you will be amazed that in 1 month, you are netting 15 million because you have built a team. They call it a team. Why people fall for it? The lure of quick passive income with minimal effort. Because all it takes is just tell your cousin and then tell your younger sister. It's very easy, very, very easy. And then your cousin, of course, has other cousins. Your sister has other friends and all that. So people fall for it. Okay, so it's very, very tempting that all you need to do is bring 2 people who will bring 2 people, and then you make a lot of money. How do you avoid it? There's one specific key. Please avoid such schemes that do not particularly sell a product, because the value comes from the product, not from recruiting people. So always avoid schemes focused on recruitment over product sales. If they are moving products and they're actually selling things, that's a different thing. But if all they're telling you, the strategy is bring 2 people who will bring 2 people who will bring 2 people, run for your life. Okay? So a business opportunity where income depends on recruiting others without real products, the scheme eventually collapses. Has anybody here been a victim of that kind of fraud? Type in the comment section. Type in the comment section. Just say victim if you have lost money through this particular red flag. Just type in the chat. Victim. Okay, so we move on to red flag number 9. Unsolicited investment offers. So this happens a lot. Okay. You receive emails. I mean, I get all these emails every single day, especially many of them AI generated. Okay. They are soliciting for investment. You don't know who they are. Sometimes it's just cold call or cold email. Cold call, cold email. Yeah. And then somebody says, oh, somebody told me about you and all that. You're a high net worth individual. And then we are wealth asset managers, and then we're reaching out to you because there's these great funds and blah, 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 blah. I get it all the time. Because for some reason, the scammers believe that I'm working very hard and that I have some billions, Remember, scammers mean business. Never forget that one. As we round off tonight, always remember, when you go out, carry that in your head. Scammers mean business. These guys do not sleep. When you finish now and go to sleep, this is the time they actually start their work, scheming on how they are going to take your money, from you. So, unsolicited investment, scammers reach out to you unexpectedly through a phone call or email or social media, offering a great investment opportunity. It's always great, fantastic offer. New words. This person did it and became this person did it and this is how this person makes their money. Sometimes they even quote people that but that's not really how those people make their money. Why do people fall for it? People may assume that being contacted directly means that the opportunity is legitimate and exclusive, because you just wonder, somebody just calls you from the blue, somebody you don't know, hello, Mr. Obo, and they've been reading your posts, so they come in with some kind of legitimacy, and then even mention, oh, you were in this conference, you said something here and all that and all that. So it's not very difficult to gather all these little corny details about you online, and then they tell you, oh, we have such a fantastic opportunity. So people fall for it because they think that personalization means that it's actually very legitimate and that these people have done their homework and really believe that I'm going to benefit from that. How do you avoid falling for that? Be suspicious of any investment offers that come out of the blue. Very, very suspicious about that. especially now, because people have been calling me, and I think that this is why people are very susceptible, because you are not doing your homework. You are not sitting down to learn, to educate yourself. It's like I have been announcing this financial fitness challenge, and I don't know how many of you have taken the opportunity, because you see, your greatest undoing is your lack of knowledge. And people are every day sending me, what should I invest in? What should I put money? I have saved some money. What should I invest in? That's usually what makes you very susceptible to all these people. So when they now come and phone you and tell you about this fantastic opportunity because you're a newbie and because you don't have the literacy, investment literacy, you fall for it. So for all these things, the 9 I've talked about so far, and then the 10th one I'm going to talk about, financial literacy is key. Financial literacy is key because the price of financial ignorance is a lot. It costs so many people hundreds of millions of Naira and CD and SEFA. So be suspicious of any investment offers that come out of the blue, okay? And then finally, the red flag number 10. This one is exclusivity and secrecy. Because these people, these scammers actually play on human psychology. And many times they've mastered it. They're able to succeed and they keep succeeding even with every day they are being exposed. But the very next day, they are scamming new people because they have mastered our psychology. So how this one works, the scammer will usually claim that the investment is only available for a select few individuals. And they may, if they know a little bit about your career, they will say this is only available for high network individuals who have worked in the energy industry or ex-bankers. It's ex-bankers club fair. They make it very sound exclusive. And then why do people fall for it? Because people feel flattered. When they say, oh, these are ex-shell workers, this is meant specifically for those who have worked in the energy industry because this and that and that and that and that, So it makes you feel special. And then people now fall for it. And then, of course, they will do some name dropping. Oh, this person is also there. Actually, Otedola is, our chairman just met Otedola, and they are considering him being the chairman of this whatever. So you hear all those names and then your head will turn. Okay? Be wary of any investment that requires secrecy or limits who can invest. Okay? Legitimate investments don't need to be hidden. They don't need to be hidden. If it is secret, be very, very worry about that. So someone tells you about an exclusive investment that only a few people can join. And usually what happens after investing, you find out that it was a scam designed to take advantage of your desire to feel special. So that is why this one usually works. People want to feel very, very special. And that is why it works. So these are the 10 red flags. And by the time that you have mastered this and internalized this, because I will encourage you to go through the replay of this session, go through it with your family, go through it with your friends and people you care about, because you are going to see even much more multiplicity, especially with the challenges in the economy today. You are going to continue to see multiplicity of investment schemes. You actually think that you would imagine that because things are hard now that people will slow down. No. The scammers mean business. Don't forget that expression. The scammers mean business. So don't make yourself lunch for scammers. So this is where we're going to end tonight. We're going to continue same time tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow we'll hold Tomorrow Zone an hour earlier because it's another event at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So 7 p.m. tomorrow, same time, same Facebook Live. I will see you. And whatever happens, keep showing up because you never know what's coming your way next. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Love you.